Hello, everybody. Hope you are wherever you are. My name is Gavin Mkabel. I just wanted to welcome you officially to my YouTube channel, Gav Talks Property and Finances. So thank you for being part of this experience. If you haven't already, please subscribe, click on that red button below, and please tell your family, friends, future bay, everybody to also subscribe so that they can also benefit from the amazing content that I'll be sharing with you going forward. Now, the whole objective behind the channel is really to talk about my two most loved subjects, apart from love, of course, which are property investing and personal finances. Now, from a property investing point of view, I'll be talking everything from flips to new developments versus existing property, to student accommodation, to yields, to tax, to why this is the best time to invest in property or to scale up on your existing property portfolio. And from a personal finance point of view, I'll be stealing a lot from this amazing and incredible book that I've written, which is called Financial Planning for What? A Financial Book About Life. Now, this book has 20 hot chapters in everything from budgeting to debt cancelling versus debt consolidation, to the hidden power of stokvels, to relationships and finances, to think before you quit. There's a chapter on that. So if you're thinking about leaving your job to start a business or to start something else, please read up on this chapter here, because some of us, we didn't think before we jumped and we saw flames. So you don't want to fall into the same traps that some of us did. And there's also an amazing chapter called Qualifying Syndrome. Now listen to this. Imagine going to the bank looking for a loan of a short-term loan of 1,000 rand, and to your surprise, after the consultant has finished processing your application, informs you that you qualify for 10,000. Now the question is, would you stick to your original 1,000 loan request, or would you go for the 10,000? Now I know a lot of us would go for the 10,000, and that is why we get into financial troubles. Because, repeat after me, just because I qualify for it, it does not mean that I can afford it. I hope that it has sunk in. So it is very important. Please read up on this, read up on the chapter in this book. The book is only 160 rand, only 160 rand. So my details on the page, you can contact me so that I can make sure that you get yourself a copy. Plus, it will be nice with regards to the content that I'll be sharing from the book. After you've read the book, you can relate. So you actually will be a step ahead of everybody else. So get yourself this book. It's an easy read. You can read it in a matter of a week or 2 weeks if you are you're not fast like me. So it's not really a big book. Get yourself a copy. It will change your life like it has changed mine and other people's lives as well. Right, cool. So now let's get to the business of the day. Now we're talking today about my 4 financial principles and why they should form part of what we call financial literacy. Now, for me, the way we have packaged and selling financial literacy, it's kind of flawed, and that is why these 4 financial principles for me, make up what we call financial literacy. Gav, what are these 4 financial principles? Number 1 is financial structuring. Number 2 is financial discipline. Number 3 is financial growth. And number 4 is financial intelligence. Now, let's start with financial structuring. Now, this is where we talk about cash flow. This is where we talk about budgeting. It doesn't matter how you call it, but it's budgeting or it's personal cash flow, right? How are you supposed to then budget? Now, this is how you should do it, is where you take your income, you take your expenses, then you minus your expenses against your income, and then you hopefully get a surplus. Now, if you're getting a deficit, meaning that you are in the red, I know that it means that you are in trouble. Don't worry, don't despair. There will be a full episode where I'll be talking about how to turn around your finances, how to turn around your budget so that you can be in the green, meaning that you will have a surplus. I'll be sharing there the details in terms of when I'll be uploading that episode, so don't worry. But for the sake of today, we'll be talking about the surplus, so you are in the green. What happens when I subtract my expenses against my income or my incomes? Because nowadays having multiple income streams is no longer fashionable, it's actually a must. So what happens then? There are 4 things that needs to happen. Number 1, you need to save. Number 2, you need to invest. Number 3, you need to have an opportunity allowance. Number 4, you need to have an entertainment budget. Now let's start with savings. So savings is liquidity. It means that this is the money that I put aside for rainy days, for emergencies. If now I'm involved in an accident, touch wood, then I need to pay access. I don't need to dip into my credit cards or my revolving loans or my personal loans. All I do is to go into my emergency fund and I take the money from there, right? So that is savings. Liquidity is money for rainy days. And then investing is where I grow money. It means I put money because I want to generate some capital or some equity, right? So I'll put it in platforms. You can talk to your financial advisor, your traditional investments like your endowments, your fixes. So you can talk to your financial advisor about that. Now you can also get into property. That's where you talk to me, and we can be able to see what kind of properties you can buy into, so that you can be able to grow money in that aspect. There's also platforms like Bitcoins. There's also platforms where you can buy into an existing business, and then you can scale it up. It doesn't matter, but the whole objective around investing is that you grow money, right? And then number 3 is opportunity allowance. So this is money you actually spend on a monthly basis for self-development. Now we're really getting into the 4th industrial revolution. So a lot of our jobs are in danger. So the question is, how well are you preparing yourself for the inevitable, which is the changes in technology and all of that? Are you buying books? Are you going to seminars? Are you taking online courses? Are you getting a mentor that you can take on a monthly basis on lunch, so that you can squeeze the knowledge from them? So it's all about money. So you have to spend money so that you can be compliant. So this is money that you're actually using on a monthly basis for self-development, right? And then number 4, it is entertainment budget. So for me, this is the big elephant in the room, and that is where our financial hole happens a lot, because it's not necessarily you going out every month, but this is money like your takeaways, your airtime, always buying sales, always buying items on sale that you don't even use, So this is where you then need to make sure that you have a limit for your entertainment, because think about it. You work every day so hard for your money. You need your me money. You need to be able to spoil yourself. So it is really recommended that you do that. So those are the 4 things that needs to happen after you subtract your expenses against your income. So it's savings, liquidity, investing, growing money, opportunity allowance for my personal development, and entertainment, which is my me money. Now then we move on to financial discipline. So that's the second financial principle. Now financial discipline is very important, because you can put all these plans together. You can budget, you can have a financial structure and all of that, but if you are not disciplined to make sure that you carry on or you maintain that plan, then it's pointless. You might as well not do it. So you need to be disciplined in that regard. Currently I'm really struggling with my fitness, because I cannot wake up early in the morning to go to the gym. So I need to be able to keep up so that I can finally get my 6-pack. So it is very, very important. Financial discipline, number 2. Number 3, we're talking about financial growth. So this is where you need to make sure that intentionally you are growing your income. So let me ask you a question. How many times has the petrol gone up in the last 10 months? Let me ask you another question. Okay, when you look at your increment at work this year, so your raise at work, versus your medical aid, how different is it? You probably have your increment is probably sitting at 6%, and your medical aid has probably gone up by 10%, right? So that means that actually when we compare your income against your medical aid, your income has lost value. So you can imagine having that negative growth for the past 3 years. You're basically losing value of your income against your medical aid, and that's just medical aid. So that is why you need to make sure that you are deliberately and intentionally increasing your income. And I know what you're going to say, Gavin, but I get increment once a year. What can I do? What can you do? You can start by selling something, selling a service, selling a product. It does not matter what it is. I don't have time. Yes, a lot of people don't have time, but they're doing it because we realize that at the end of the day, we cannot live on one income stream. You have to have multiple income stream. And the nice thing about it these days is that you don't even have to, go and do door to door. You can sit by the couch and sell. Social media has allowed us to do all of these things. And, I know that a lot of us, we have this pride because what people will say, what people will say, you see doctors, parking cars selling eggs, doctors that earn a lot of money, but they realize that they cannot just rely on one income stream. So you better start thinking of something that you can start selling so that you can be able to grow your income base. So that is financial growth. And number 4, which is the last financial principle, is financial intelligence. Financial intelligence, listen to me. So I know that you want to go in and Google it. It's not going to come out the way I explain it. This is where you acquire strategic assets that has a potential of growing in value and providing you with continuous income, right? This is where you acquire strategic assets that has a potential in growing in value and providing you with continuous income. So this is like your property that you can go and buy that property. It will increase in value and you'll get rental income from that. So that is why I say strategic. Not all property is good. Not all the assets that you buy are good. That's why it needs to be strategic. Okay, it's very, very important because the basis of it there is value. So it's capital appreciation and it's also continuous income. And this is where we talk about OPM, using other people's money, right? Going to the bank, getting the loan by getting that asset increases in value, and then you get income from that, right? So those are the 4 financial principles, and that is why I say they should form part of what I call financial literacy. We cannot talk financial literacy according to me and not talk about those 4 financial principles. So it is very, very important. I hope this episode will help you to start thinking about what you're doing and start taking action in that regard. So please let us engage. I'm looking forward to hearing from you, just to let us engage. It's very, very important. So this is Gavin signing out, and please be on the lookout for the other episodes so that you can be able to benefit from them as well. Don't forget to subscribe, click on that red button below, and please don't forget to tell your family and friends to also do the same thing. So see you next time. This is Gavin Mkabela signing out, and see you on the flip side.